Hey guys, welcome to another how-to video with Matt Waters. Today I'm going to show you how to make this farm style egg rack. But first, you're going to need a few things. Alright guys, to do this project you need to get yourself a miter saw, a tape measure, a pen or pencil. You're going to need screws or nails, your choice, an impact driver / drill. You need to get yourself an 1¼ inch drill bit. You need to get yourself some wood clamps, a sander with some 180 grit sandpaper. Then you need to get 2x6 lumber. You need to have a number 10 countersink bit. You need to find yourself some chicken wire, some wire cutters to cut the chicken wire, and then your color choice of stain. Alright guys, so you need to take your 2x6 lumber and you need to make the following cuts with your miter saw. You need to make 4 boards that are 14 inches and you need to make 2 boards that are 12 inches. Guys, so what we want to do to get started first is we want to take one of our 12-inch boards, right? And then we just want to take our other 12-inch board. You want to line it up on the end and get it nice and flush, and then take your pen or pencil and you just want to do like I went ahead and did and make you a line right there, right? So that starts your first top of your board. Then you want to come down to the very bottom and do the exact same thing. You want to line it up nice and flush and go ahead and pop your line there, right? Then you need to take your tape measure and you need to go and measure out just like this right here. So go from your first mark right here from 1½, and then you're going to go to 3½, make you a mark. Then you're going to come down up from 3½, and you're going to come all the way up and put you a mark at 7. So put you a mark at 7, and then you're going to come all the way down here, of course, and you'll have your mark already from the other end of your board right here, guys. So what we're going to do with that is for our shelves, right? So say this is our top. So that would go there in place, right? And then these will be one of our egg rows, right? So that'll start there on the bottom, and then you'll have one here, and then you have another shelf here, and then that gives each shelf exactly 2 inches apart from each other for your eggs. So go ahead and lay that out on both of your 12-inch boards, and we'll go to the next step. Alright, so once you've got both of those side pieces marked out, you just want to stick those to the side for 1 second. Then what you want to do is take one of your 14-inch boards and just label it top. And just stick it to the side also. We don't need to do anything else with that right this second. So guys, we're going to go ahead and make the egg shelves, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this pattern on there, and I'm going to show you how. And that pattern right here is going to wind up looking just like this, right? So what we need to do is find our center of a 2x6 board. So you would say, oh, it's a 6-inch board, so it must be 3 inches. Well, you're wrong, because these boards are truly actually 4½ inches wide, right? So what you want to do is come down to 2¼ in the center of your boards, right? So you now know that half of your board is at 2¼ So what you want to do is go every 2 inches on your 14-inch board in the middle and make a mark like I did. Like here I went 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Then I came back and did my 2¼ cross and did that all there, right? So that's where we're going to drill out with our 1½ inch bit. Alright guys, and the drill bit for the holes, I highly recommend using a spade style bit just like this one right here. These work great. So we're going to load up and we're going to go ahead and drill our holes out, and you want to drill them nice and straight down. That way you get it just like this right here, and don't worry if it shatters any of the wood, because we're going to wind up sanding that later. I've went ahead and done 2 of our shelves, so you can see right here. So I'm just going to show you real fast. You don't want to go all the way through, guys. You don't want to poke all the way through. You can make sure your pilot bit goes through just like on some of these right here, but you don't want to penetrate all the way through, guys. Alright, so go ahead and get all your holes drilled out on all 3 of your boards. Then we'll be ready to start assembling the frame. Alright guys, real quickly, we're just going to run all of our boards through a sander real quick. Alright, so the next thing that we want to do is take our two side pieces right here, and you just want to go ahead for now and put in 2 countersink holes in each corner, right? So you just want to flip it over, make sure you're within your range right there, and put your countersink mark here. And then on the other side, put your countersink mark there. And then you're going to do the exact same thing with your other board. Just gonna flip it over and use these lines right here. So go ahead and throw another one here, one here, one there, and one there. Alright. And as I mentioned in the video earlier, I am using a number 10 size countersink bit, guys. Alright, so all 4 of the corner holes have now been marked and drilled. So what we want to do is, just for quick reference, is you see this second line right here. You want to line it up with the back of your board just like that. Alright, then you want to come to the other side and mark you 2 more marks for countersink holes, just by eyeballing that right there. And then you can do the same once you've made your 2 marks on your other board, so you can eyeball that. Then you want to do the exact same thing with the next line. You want to bump it up and line up the back line with the back of this board right here, just like that. And then put your 2 marks on the other side. And then use your other board as reference and put marks on the other side. And then go ahead and countersink those 8 holes right there. Alright, so now that you got all of your countersink holes drilled for the sides right here, now what we want to do is flip them over. And you want to go ahead and take your top piece that we labeled as the top right here, guys. And we want to go ahead and stick that onto the very top right here. Line it up on the sides. And then at this point, you can either just go ahead and shoot you some screws or nails in there, or you can go ahead and clamp it down. And I'm going to use a wood clamp and just clamp this nice and tight in place, and then shoot some screws in it. Alright, so we got this back corner right here nice and flush, so we're going to go ahead and shoot some screws in there real quick. Alright, and then we're going to go around on the other side and shoot some screws in it also. Once you've got your top put on in place nice and firm, so what you want to do next is take one of your side shelves, right? And what you want to do is you want to get it in there and you want to line it up just like that, so that it's 2 inches apart from each other. So you want to line this one up onto this board. And then if you have to, you might need to take your clamp and clamp that tight together so that it stays nice and tight on your lines. And go ahead and shoot you some screws in this side and this side. And you want to make sure you do this one first. Then you want to go to your next shelf right here, guys. You want to do the exact same thing. You want to line it up. Go ahead and get you screwed in on one side and clamp it tight on your lines. Get that one in place. And then you need to go ahead and do your third one also on the bottom. And line it up just with the bottom right there. And then you're going to pull it over. But you want to do it exactly in this order, because if you go ahead and clamp this in now, you're not going to be able to get these 2 boards in that great. So go ahead and do it in order from like 1, 2, and then your third one. Alright guys, here we go. After putting everything together, here is our egg holder shelf. So what we want to do now is either paint it or stain it, your choice. I'm going to be using the stain called Jacob Bean. It's a light brown color. So what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and stain that and let that dry, and then we'll be ready to put our chicken wire on. We'll quickly go over this piece and stain it. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, just want to keep the stain moving. Get all the sides on one side real good, then we'll flip it over, get the other sides, and then we'll get all the inside parts, guys. So go ahead and get your piece either completed, painted, or stained, and then we'll be ready. Alright, so now that everything has been stained, we're just going to let this piece dry for a few hours, and then we'll get our chicken wire put on there. Alright, so we are back. Everything has dried nice and smooth. It looks great. So what we're going to do is put our chicken wire on. So what you need to do is take your chicken wire, and you want to level it out, make sure it's all nice and straight. And you want to get it so that nothing's going to be poking out the back just like this, or even if you have to trim it down to this width right here like I did. And then we'll go ahead and take our stapler right here. And you can use any type of staple gun. And my regular staple gun is actually broke right now, so I'm just going to be using this little office stapler right now to help. So put that down there just to hold it in place. Then we'll pull back right here and staple down one side first. You just don't want to go random because it'll have it all bubbled out like. So you just want to do one side first. Alright, now that you got that one side down right there, it'll hold tight so you can pull, and you can come down and put about midway and throw your staple. And you want to go on these straight lines right here, you don't want to go sideways, so just put the stapler right on there and just do it just like that. And just keep it pulled tight, that way it doesn't have much slack in it. Alright, and you want to come down just a little bit more. Find you a good sweet spot. And once you finish stapling everything nice and tight in place, you just want to come back and go ahead and cut off your excess wire with your wire snips. Alright guys, so there you have it. There is our farm style egg rack shelf that we made out of scrap 2x6s. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that like button down below and hit the little bell down there for notifications for when the next video comes out. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Peace.